Welcome to 2016 Presidential Candidate Interviews. Today I'm interviewing Mr. Mathew Tyler. He's running as an independent. Hello, Mr. Tyler, and welcome to the interview.
Hello, Mr. Price.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good. I'd like to thank you for participating. Let's give the listeners a chance to get to know you, and we'll ask you some icebreaker questions. Describe your family.
I'm the youngest of two sons. My parents have been married for 30-something years.
Describe your employment and your work history.
Freelance web developer.
Okay. Your hobbies and interests?
My hobbies and interests include pedaling, driving, food, games, learning, movies, music, photography, reading, swimming, traveling, and women.
Okay. Your favorite place to eat out?
I haven't been eating out as of late, but probably a pizza place.
All right. Do you have any favorite fast food places?
Not anymore, since I've been made aware of, I think, Proposition 65 in California that requires fast food places to indicate that their food and drink contains carcinogens.
Okay. Do you have any favorite junk food?
Pizza and chocolate, baked goods.
Okay. Favorite TV shows and movies?
Action movies, horror movies, Batman.
Okay. Do you have any pets?
Two cats. I have Julio and Coco.
Okay. And the final one, do you have a song that you consider maybe a life anthem, a motto, something that represents who you are?
Disturbed, Land of Confusion.
Okay. Now on to the serious questions. Why are you running for president?
Things might be bad enough for me to actually get a genuine chance to save the nation and the world from what politicians have done.
What abilities do you bring to the office of president?
I'm unbiased. I'm a realist. I'm governed by logic and reason. I'm a former Boy Scout. I'm passionate beyond measure, adaptable like no other. I like to believe that I wield a plethora of knowledge that is likely only rivaled by a computer.
Are there any presidents you have a favorable opinion of who may have done a few things you would like to emulate?
FDR and Eisenhower.
Okay. And presidents you have an unfavorable opinion of that you would not want to emulate?
Reagan and any Bushes.
Okay. Are there any functions of government you would like to decrease or abolish?
I would like to decrease / limit the terms of Congress to 2 terms.
Are there any functions of government you'd like to add to or increase? Is there anything that doesn't exist that you think should exist?
I would like to increase and remove the term limitation imposed on the president by the 22nd Amendment, just for presidents from myself onwards. I would like elected officials to be subject to strict liability. I feel that that's important for government accountability. I would also like to ratify the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, which to my understanding the United States is signed but not ratified.
Okay. Describe your stance on taxation.
I feel a 13% flat income tax with low to moderate income individuals and couples receiving earned income credit is fair for everyone involved.
Okay. Describe your stance on the abortion pro-choice issue.
I'm pro-choice. I believe that it's a woman's body, and she should always have the right to choose whether or not she wants a baby or not.
Right. What role should our military play in the world?
Whatever is necessary to protect the nation and the citizens of the nation at home and abroad.
Okay. How do you perceive the issue of race and discrimination in America? Do we still face challenges?
Discrimination, like greed, is a reflection of ignorance. That's why the country needs to modernize and provide free education to the citizens of the United States.
Okay. What role should the federal government play in healthcare?
I feel that the federal government has a duty to its people to provide both free, modernized healthcare and education to citizens of the United States.
What priority would you give the repair of infrastructure, and what role should the federal government have in maintaining infrastructure?
For job creation and for safety, I feel it needs an immediate priority. I also feel that whatever is necessary, the government has both a duty and is required by law under the U.S. Constitution, freedom of movement, to maintain infrastructure.
Some people think there's a conflict of interest between gathering intelligence to fight terrorism and upholding personal liberties to freedom, privacy, and all that. What do you think is the proper balance between these two, and do you think there is a conflict?
Although incidents might arise requiring compromising some personal privacy, I feel that the war on terror has to be concluded.
Okay. Next question. Be kind of a forecaster. Predict maybe one or two major problems facing our country in the future that very few people are talking about. What would you do to prepare America for it or these?
The most major problem that the nation is currently facing is ignorance. Arising from what politicians have done, ignorance has befallen the nation. As an unaccredited teacher, I would, in an attempt to correctly teach the nation and the world, and also provide free education, including higher education for citizens of the United States with debt forgiveness or loan forgiveness, student loan forgiveness, I should say.
Okay. Everybody has things they're good at and things they're not good at. What are some of the things you're not so good at, and what would you do to compensate for those?
I lack social skills or people skills. I would attempt to make up for it by being honest with people about everything.
Okay. Are there any other issues you would like to discuss?
None off the top of my head. What about yourself?
No, nothing. No. And closing remarks in maybe 2 minutes or less. Can you tell us why we should vote for you?
Well, the fact is, unless people are part of the Electoral College, their vote doesn't actually matter. but assuming people are in the Electoral College, voting for me is the only way to prevent Al-Qaeda or ISIL from infiltrating America and implementing one of their own terrorists as President of the United States, as it only takes 270 people from the Electoral College to determine the next president. And while I could be mistaken, I'm fairly certain that terrorist organizations are perfectly capable of coming up with 270 people to partake in the Electoral College and then appoint a terrorist who then is in control of the United States, which could, destroy the United States from within. I mean, be it launching nukes at some other country that then gets nukes launched at us, or just doing what politicians have done historically and selling out the nation to the communists.
Okay. Thank you for participating in this interview. Thank you again to my listeners for listening. Please be sure to check back again in the future for more candidate interviews. Have a good day. Remember to keep informed and keep involved. Thanks again, Mr. Tyler.